Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma rabbi zidni ilma. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome dear students on the subject of Internet Architecture and Protocols. It's Ghulam Yasin, lecturer in Computer Science, University of Education Lahore, DG Khan campus. So dear students, our today's lecture is again regarding quality of service. As we have discussed that we will cover quality of service in 3 consecutive lectures. So these are contents which are same as the previous lecture. Quality of service, techniques, integrated services, differentiated services, multimedia services, and real-time interactive applications. Although we have discussed about integrated and differentiated services, multimedia services in our previous lectures as well, but because quality of service is very important in networks, so we will discuss some other points in our today's lecture and in coming lecture. So in this lecture and in our next coming lecture, we will cover the quality of service in every aspect. Port mirroring. Dear students, this is very important concept. This is very important topic by which we can understand how the quality will be observed. Port mirroring, also known as SPAN, switch port analyzer, is a method of monitoring network traffic. There are different types of methods, there are different types of mechanism to observe, to monitor the network traffic. So port mirroring is one of them. With port mirroring enabled, the switch sends a copy of all network packets seen on one port or an entire virtual local area network VLAN to another port where the packet can be analyzed, and RTP, real-time transport protocol, is used for this purpose. In the diagram you can see a switch, PC1, server, and monitoring device. As there is communication between PC and switch, and the communication is between switch and server. If we talk about local area network scenario, there are different types of PCs, PC1 to PC10. Let's suppose there will be a LAN switch and there will be a server which will manage the small local area network. So whenever PC1 wants to transmit data to PC3 or PC4, this data will be forwarded with the help of switch, and the controlling authority at the back end is server. So there is another device which is monitoring device. As we have just read in our slide, that the network traffic will be sent, the copy of network traffic will be sent to monitoring device, and this monitoring device will check the quality, will monitor the quality, will observe the quality, and hence we can monitor, we can analyze, we can check the quality of our data or our packet which is transmitted in local area network by different devices, by different PCs, and these communication is controlled by server, and these communication is facilitated by switch with the help of physical address, with the help of MAC address, media access control as address, and IP addressing scheme will definitely deployed on these different PCs for successful data transmission. Video on demand. Dear students, a video on demand is a programming system which allows user to select and watch, listen video or audio content such as movies and TV shows whenever they choose rather than at the scheduled broadcast time, a method that prevailed with over-the-air programming during the 20th century. This is a new concept of video on demand. We have studied about video conferencing, but video on demand is different while we talk about video on demand or video conferencing. So video on demand is like the latest technology or latest service which is nowadays provided by PTCL as well, which is also called Smart TV. So if you are going to see a TV serial or drama or any movie and you are busy, you can't be able to complete that movie or that drama serial, you can watch that serial after some time. So recording facility will be available, but this is not facilitated by normal service provider. There is some different specific mechanism, or there is some different service provision by which you can avail this facility. So video on demand is again latest application which needs high quality of service. Second point, IPTV technology is commonly used to bring video on demand to televisions and personal computers. IPTV, again, this is IP based television, like we have just discussed in our previous slide, voice over IP. So IP is basically protocol, internet protocol, which is used for data transmission and different other purposes on the internet. But nowadays this word is going to use for voice transmission, voice over IP. Now this is IP based television technology and so on. So video on demand is latest technology which needs high quality of service, which needs best quality of service. So video on demand does have some limitations, which one of them is not having enough bandwidth to watch it. Because every type of application which needs live streaming must contains high bandwidth. If there is low bandwidth, these applications will not be able to provide best quality of service. So HLS, hypertext transfer protocol live streaming in different fields of life. We see live streaming when we see any match, there is live streaming while we see that match with the help of YouTube, or if there is any type of transmission which is live and we want to see that live transmission, live streaming, we need high bandwidth. If the bandwidth is low, the quality of service will be affected. So on the right side you can see a diagram, and in this diagram you can see different video files, audio files, different transactions. Again, HLS, hypertext transfer protocol live streaming, HTTP hypertext transfer protocol, different users, and CDN. So CDN is basically again a latest term which is content delivery network. So this is a system which is used for distributed servers, and this system delivers pages and other web content to a user based on the geographic locations of the user or the origin of the web page in the content delivery server. So CDN is again a latest network, content delivery network, which provide different pages, different web contents to its users. So in short, video on demand needs high quality of service, and this high quality of service is dependent on high bandwidth. Quality of service requirements. The main quality of service requirements are bandwidth. What is bandwidth? I am going to repeat the basic definition of bandwidth again. the capacity of channel is called bandwidth. So what is bandwidth, which is written over here? Bandwidth represents a data stream bandwidth. Second is reliability. This represents the tolerance of losses in a data stream. So what is reliability? Reliability means whenever a user wants to connect to any network, he or she must be able to connect. There will be no any message network failure or network error, or even then the data loss or network connection loss. So if the network is not going to be connected, you can't be able to transfer data. So while the connecting towards network, this is again a data loss, because connection establishment is very important. So connection establishment again depends on some type of data which is called signaling system. So if the network is not connected, you can't be able to transfer data. Next is delay. We have also discussed about delay. You have to wait. If you have to wait in any network, there is a delay in that network. So what is delay? The relative delay between packets and the round trip delay. Whenever we transfer data from source to destination, there is some specific predefined time in which data must be received by the receiver. If that time exceeds, if the limit exceeds, we can say that there is delay in that network, which is not good. The actual quality of service assigned to a stream depends on many parameters. The server scheduling algorithm, first come first serve. In operating system, you have also discussed this term, first come first serve, which means when the applications, when the processes, when the requests will be received by server, then there must be some mechanism to fulfill, to process those requests. If you talk about queue in front of bank, so if there is a line in which there are 10 users who are there to deposit, to submit their utility bill, so the first person request will be processed first, after that second, third, fourth, and so on. So this is called first come first serve. Second is the server priority setting. What is priority? If in that queue or if in that line there is an aged person or senior citizen, other different persons or people will say that you have to submit the bill, please go ahead. So we give priority to that person. Likewise, different applications keep high priority or different applications keep low priority. So high priority applications must be processed first. The server load, this can be distributed among different servers. And next is scheduling cost. Scheduling cost mean the application needs some specific time, some specific resources, and these resources contains some cost. If the application is high, then the cost will be more, and if the application is low, then the cost will be low. Let's suppose if we are going to use we are going to send email, the network usage cost will be low, and if we are going to use video on demand, video conferencing, the network usage cost will be high. The server priority settings. HTB, a hierarchical token bucket, is a classful queuing method that is useful for handling different kinds of traffic. We are discussing again and again that if a user wants to transmit a simple email, then this email needs a very low amount of bandwidth. And if a user wants to transmit video conferencing or video on demand, this application needs more bandwidth. So there must be priority, there must be some mechanism to allot bandwidth to these two different applications and ultimately to these two different users. So there must be some mechanism towards server end because all the controlling mechanism is done with the help of server. So server machine must be able to control, must be able to prioritize different applications. So SFQ cannot limit traffic at all. Its main idea is to equalize sessions. So in diagram you can see different parameters. I am going to discuss these parameters. First one is start quality of service, enable or disable. If you will enable, basically this is a server side setting. If the network administrator will enable the start quality of service, then there are different other parameters. Port, this port may be of WAN or LAN. Next is packet scheduler, just we have discussed about HTTP. Next is queuing discipline, which is SFQ. Next is downloading or downlinks and uploading or uplinks. So this is speed for down and uplinks. Definitely network administrator can define different parameters to control the quality of service according to the situation, according to the need. Internet quality of service. Dear students, internet supports best effort service only. The existing applications are time sensitive, delay sensitive and jitter sensitive. I have other important requirements which are not supported by best of effort internet. A best effort service means the internet will try to send your messages in a proper way, but there may be data loss, there may be delay, there may be jitter, there may be a packet loss and so on. The reason behind this is internet is dependent mostly on IP based traffic or IP based network or IP based protocol or internet protocol, and the most of traffic which is sent with the help of internet is dependent on IP, and IP is itself unreliable protocol. So that's why we can say that while transmitting data or information, any type of information, any type of data, normally there are chances of data loss, there are chances of delay, there are chances of jitter, there are chances of hacking and so on. But nowadays a lot of security mechanism, a lot of different other protocols, reliable protocols like transmission control protocol and many other protocols have been developed and deployed. So nowadays, while transmitting data with the help of internet is not so much unreliable, like the data of MNCs, multinational companies, the data of banks, the data of e-commerce business websites is now secure. So we can say that nowadays, due to different latest technologies, different latest security mechanism, the internet has been more secure than earlier time. So there are two different services, differentiated services, which aim to classify the traffic into groups, handles traffic into different groups. So differentiated services mean we can classify our traffic into different classes, into different groups, and according to the need of that specific service, bandwidth can be allocated. Second is integrated services, collective service to put the traffic demand on domain and to limit the demand and reserve resources. So in integrated services, we allocate resources, we reserve resources for the applications just we have discussed. So applications are categorized with the help of different services, and the resources are allocated to these categorized applications with the help of integrated services. Differentiated services. So dear students, differentiated services means a multiple service model that can satisfy the most requirements. A differentiated services is used for several mission critical applications and to provide end-to-end quality of service. So all those applications which are very sensitive to delay are called mission critical applications, and there must be end-to-end quality of service. End-to-end mean from source to destination, the quality of service must be measured. Differentiated services reduces the burden on network devices and easily scales as the network grows. As we enhance the network capacity, these services may be able to provide different services to enhanced or added clients. The main components of a differentiated network. The differentiated model goal is to divide the traffic into different classes. On the left side, you can see traffic classification. Traffic means data which we will transmit with the help of any network. So data or traffic may be of e-commerce type, may be of application traffic, may be of email, web browsing, voice, multimedia, and so on. And on the right side, you can see different types of classification. First of all is voice, second is gold, next is silver, and next is bronze. First of all is voice. This is platinum class and there is low latency. If the classification is over here, then the delay will be very low. If the traffic is classified into gold, you can see guaranteed there is no latency and the data must be delivered. And in the silver class, guaranteed delivery, and in the bronze class, best effort delivery. Best effort means data may be lost and you have to retransmit data. So in this way, traffic may be classified into these different groups, and according to the according to the payment, according to the cost, different services are provided by network service provider. So dear students, thank you very much for your concentration, for your learning, for your passion. I hope best of luck for all of you always.